Okay, we have another one of those childhood memories for you. Still at the beach. I think that's where my brain is. It's probably going to stay there the rest of the month because, after all, it's very gloomy outside. And actually, it's very cold. People have been putting their heat on. Don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, this is what we're making today. And it is a lifeguard station. So for my friends in the UK, I don't think I've ever seen one of these here, but I know that several of the beaches in Florida that have them. They're very popular in California. I've seen them on some of the beaches in Carolina, but only the places where the surfers, where they have to watch a little further out. So anyway, regardless, let's turn the camera down and get going. Well, need my eyes too. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Okay, let me put my example out here. We are starting with an azure afternoon cardstock. I love this color. And it is the color of the sky on one of those freakishly clear days. Although I don't usually associate them with the summer, but I have seen them in the summer. Anyway, this is your standard half sheet cardstock size, or half sheet card base. So if you are working in metric, we've got 21 inches by 14.85. And if we're doing imperial, we've got 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at the center, which for imperial is 4 1/4, and for metric folks it is 10.5. So there we go. We're going to put the card base this way today. Now you could make a side opening card base. It would look just as good. I don't have an example of one here, but one that opens this direction. So I think that would look really nice as well. So we're going to start with that. And the next thing I have done is I have used crumb cake cardstock, and I have cut a frame. So I basically took a piece of cardstock that was the same size as what would be a first layer. So we've got the imperial measurements would be 14.4 by 10. And if we're working on imperial, it would be 5 1/4 by 4. 5 1/4 by 4. Had to remember that. Then you take a die, or you can do this with a ruler and a craft knife. But I had out my deckled rectangle dies, and I also had out, because I was comparing sizes, the stitch rectangle die, and the stitch rectangle die set is no longer available, sadly. So I was comparing the sizes, and they're actually both the same size for the larger of the rectangles. So I thought, oh, okay, great. I'll, use the new one. That's good. I'm used to it because I'm not used to the decal rectangle one yet. Well, we get there. So what did I do when I die cut my pieces? I grabbed the stitched one. That's okay. It looks good. And they both look good because the mock-up that I did in all the wrong colors and with cheap, crappy cardstock, I did it with the correct one, and it looks great. So the next thing you do is the die comes with these strange long pieces, which I'll show you. Wait a minute, here we go. Give me that set out. Yep, sorry. Don't see my elbow. See this really strange looking thing? And what this does is this is an edge die, if you haven't seen one of these before. And you basically put your cardstock in, and you put the edge die on it. Or you put the edge die on it like that. Or you use this one that has the right side up. I don't know. It fits, I promise. The edge die. Yeah, here we go. So you put it on the cardstock like that, with the rest of it sticking out here, and you cut off a little skinny piece, so that what you have is a wavy edge. Now do this 2 times, because we're going to make some sort of fake sand dunes. But somebody asked me what this was and what you did with it, so I wanted to sort of point that out. Well, somebody was my husband. He said, that's the strangest looking thing I've ever seen. So I said, oh, okay, it's an edge die, which means it doesn't cut back, it just cuts along the edge. Now, It does, sometimes they'll make like a little line here, which this doesn't bother me. Some people it bothers. You can sort of take care of that by taking the shim out and running it through several times. I don't know how to do it if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Machine, because that's the only die cutter that I have. So, but the shim is the little skinny piece that goes on top of the plate, the large plate. All right, anyway, so you cut 2 of these exactly alike, like that. Stamp your greeting on one close to the top, and on the other one, flip it to the other side. So we've got bumps like that. Does it make sense? See that? And then I glue them together. You want your strips don't have to be terribly wide. I'm guessing probably just, I don't know, inch and a half if you're working in Imperial. If you're working in metric, I probably do it about 5 to 7 centimeters. All right, there we go, just like that. Give that just a second to dry. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue the frame on here next. So you line up your frame where you want your bits and pieces to go. So I want my wishing you beautiful day to go pretty much in the center. So it'll be like that. Yep. Because you want to leave these down on the bottom because the next bits are larger. And just put some glue on your frame. That's the next piece to do. And this piece is pretty easy peasy. But I wanted the extra layer, but I wanted to put the die cuts against the Azure Afternoon. So that's why I made a frame instead of using a layer. Okay, looks good. Now, obviously, we have leftover bits, so easy to take care of. I have a pair of long handle scissors for this kind of job, so I can go along with it, my snips. There we go. And do wait till your glue is dry. Ooh, can't see that. It doesn't feel like I'm cutting into my frame though. It is quite thick because of the double piece of cardstock though. Come on. Ah, there we go. Oh, yes, I managed to keep that straight. Fairly straight. Got a little bit of there. Okay. Oh, bend this edge. Let's get this edge cleared off. All right. There we go. Oh yeah, see now I can see I didn't get that quite straight enough, so let's shave a bit more. Actually, I might, no, I was gonna say I use my paper trimmer. You could use your paper trimmer. That probably would have been the better thing to do here, to be honest. Okay, awesome. Now you can go ahead and affix this at this point. Basically, I don't see why not, because there's really nothing else we're going to do with the frame. So let's go ahead and put this on. Yeah. Do make sure you get enough glue around those edges, because you don't want those to come up. And since this cardstock is thick here, it has a tendency to want to do that. Oh, look, I've got a glue miss. Terrific. Well, I should know better. I always glue on my silicone sheet. I didn't get it out. And you're going to glue this down using your basic. Leave a few centimeters all the way around fairly evenly. Or as evenly as you can get. Do the bottom first because the top is much more flexible. All right, let's get up just a little more. That is the nice thing about glue. Now I've got a little bit of glue yucky there. I will let that dry, and then I will come back with my eraser and get that off of there. Okay, easy enough. So set this aside and let it dry. Now the next thing that I did was I made my palm tray, which is, these are actually two different die cuts, so you can't line them up. They're sort of opposite of one another. And I cut one out of garden green and the other from granny apple green. See, think and talk at the same time. Often quite difficult. Now we're just going to glue these bits together. I found it was easier to do this way, to place them on, than it was to try and glue it onto the card. Now we want our thing to curve. Wait, just said I needed to do that. Let's get it out and do it properly. If you don't have one of these silicone sheets, I highly recommend them. They're inexpensive. You can use them to help you reverse stamping. You can get glue all over them. You can even get hot glue on them. Okay, let's see. Let's go. How about like that? No, up a little. All right. Pull that up, and we didn't have too much squishing out, but we will set that aside a moment and let it dry. And now we are going to take, and I'm going to show you what I did with this. I stamped this onto smoky slate. Yes, I know, smoky slate cardstock. And because it made me think of weathered wood, that sort of grayish, what color a cedar turns when it gets this right. And I wanted to spark it up a bit. So I got a white gel pen. I don't even know the maker of this. I've had this around a while. If you don't have a white gel pen, you really should get you one. I think the teenagers are onto something. You can generally find these where sometimes you can find them in fine art stores, but usually not. I think I got this one at Asda. Which is the equivalent of Walmart in the States. So you just color this, and you can see all I'm doing is making lines. I hope you can see that. My hand's probably in the way. All I'm really doing is just making lines. I don't want it to be perfectly, exactly colored in. I want it to look like it's aging a little bit. And then the smaller bits are a lot harder to cover in, but like I said, they're basically a line. So in my case, I just did my best to draw a straight line. And if you go over the lines, it doesn't matter really, because that's not the look we're going for. We're not going for pristine and amazing. But the gel pen, you will see this ink is a bit weird. And if you press too hard, it can sort of dig a trough in it, so to speak. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it doesn't go on evenly like a regular gel ink would. And it makes me think of the ink, our white ink. It seems to be, even though it says it's a regular gel ink, it seems to be thicker, sort of like a craft ink. So hurry up, try to do this quicker. I know you probably don't want to just hear me go on and on here, but when I saw this, we used to go to the beach. This is station number 27, and where we used to go to the beach when I was a kid, we were always at the 28 station, which I thought, oh my gosh, we're just one down from where I used to go. Never seen these, as I mentioned, in the United Kingdom, but I haven't been on the beaches in the United Kingdom either. You do tend to find these little huts up on stands where people surf, so that the guards have to see a little bit further out. So you will often see them in places where the boating and surfing. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I'm trying not to go over any of the lines. Yeah, I think I need to do that corner. So I want the lines to show through, to show up black. Because the lines, if you look very closely at the stamp, the lines aren't, they're a bit done as like a sketch. All right, keep going, we're almost there. This particular lifeguard station is very luxurious. It actually has has a ramp. Most of the ones I've ever seen have a ladder. So I do wonder whoever designed the stamp, if they were working from one that they've actually seen or just made it up in their heads. I'd be interested to know if anybody watching from other countries, do you have lifeguard stations like this at your seaside? Or if you've been to another place and been to the beach, do they have stations like this? Or if this is just a US thing? All right, there we go. Now, I wanted to, oh, I missed a place. Now, when you're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and glue down when we're done here, but you will find when you go over it once that there'll be thinner places, and you'll probably want to go over them again because, like I said, this is really strange ink. It's not like your basic gel pen. And where's my black? I know I have a black gel pen. And I could have used my markers, but like I said, I wanted to go with this sort of sketchy look. So I left some spaces by the edges where the things would, where the two bars connect. And I didn't color it flat, just kind of giving it some sort of sketchy look to it. I tried darkening the edges with some ink, and I did not like that version. So I thought, well, if I'll just go, perhaps go over the bottom bits and just use a blender and blend a little ink up onto it. I did that with these, you can probably tell. It's just because I wanted those edges darker, so when they laid on top of one another, you got that, you could really tell that it was layered up. You got the sort of the sand dune look to it, I guess. Almost there. Thanks for bearing with the slow coloring bit. But kind of wanted to show you guys how I got the look. Now, obviously, you can color this any way you want. This stamp set also, or this die set also comes with the dies that are in pieces. So there's a piece for the stand, there's a piece for the box, there's a piece for this, I don't like porch railing. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I like that. All right, there we go. Quick, easy. Do not have to be any kind of pro color person here. I do see a place I overslot here that I don't like, which is the nice thing about going back over a white gel. So if you see something that you went, oh, I over gelled that and I don't like it, you can just fix it with this. So gel pen's done. And now I did place this up on dimensionals, but before I do that, I'm going to put my palm tree in. So now that we're dry, I did not place this on dimensionals. Just put some glue on this baby. And here we go. Gluing without my glue pad. So I hope that you can see this is like incredibly easy. What I did, and I would like to encourage you, if you have a die set, particularly the one that has a lot of pieces in it, just grab some paper, grab some cardstock. Cardstock scraps is mostly what I used. And go to town. Give it a go and just cut all your pieces out. That's the best way to get inspired, is cut the pieces and have play. Now we're going to put this on here so it sort of overlaps, because we're working on the whole dimension thing. So there. I'm going to put this so the tree's actually going over the edge, like that. And I can get my glue spoogie off. Oh, that's a little piece of paper there. Guess it did really stick down, didn't it? Well, easy enough. Now it's gone. Now, as I said, I put this up on dimensionals. So this was a bit of a challenge. I used small and medium, and I still wound up having to cut some. So I'll show you where I did the cuts. Oops, come back here. A whole one goes right there, quite nicely. And another hole in here. I felt like the structure was a bit on the delicate side, so I wanted to make sure I had plenty of, I don't know, support. That's the word I'm looking for. Lots of support. All right. I think that'll do for this. Now the minis. Oh, I think these things are so cute. But if you're klutzy like I am, oh Lord. That's what I always say. Oh Lord, give me some patience, please. Now this takes a mini up here. And we're going to put another one on the flag. I still wonder if I should color the flag. I know that in the States, if you see a red flag flying, that means no swimming today. If you see a yellow flag flying, obviously that's caution. Well, not obviously, but it is caution. And green flag is good swimming, good clear weather. All right, I'm going to attempt to cut a miniature dimensional. This is the way that we drive ourselves crazy. But it made a difference to the card putting these on there, because the legs just aren't sturdy enough by themselves. Can you see I'm stuck to it? Come on. Okay, there is that guy. Oh. And try it again. Oh, I have one that's already cut. Yay! If I can get it off of here now. Yes! Because you will need a support in the middle. Ta-da! And now let's pop the stuff out. This made me think of when my kids were in school, doing the school projects. The old dioramas. Ugh. Nothing great when your kids come home and say, "Mom, I need a shoebox." And you're like, "I don't have a shoebox. I have to make a diorama." So, since my kid always needed shoes, that was always the call to go and buy a new pair. Now that we have our dimensionals in place, we set our, oops. Now I set mine on top because I wanted the sort of the, I don't know what you call it, the difference. Come on. Just want to make sure that the feet are all on the sand or it looks kind of strange. See, like you don't want to sit on the sand. There we go. Give that a press. And the last bits I did for this, well, so we're going to need these miniatures again, is I made some, well, the last bits, the last different bits. We're still going here. We got a lot to go. Is these lovely seagulls are in the stamp set and die set. And they are quite good. I like the dark tips on the wings. I think they look really nice. So to give them some dimension as well, I glued 2 flat and 1 I popped up on dimensional. So let's glue our flat guys down first. This would make a really awesome background for your scrapbookers. Well, scrapbooker too, but I haven't done any in a while. Especially these waves. This set also comes with like water waves instead of just sand. So this is really, really great to use on backgrounds. And because we know how vicious seagulls are, I am going to attempt to cut another one of these minis again because a whole one doesn't fit. You can kind of see on this card where I tried to put a whole one back there. And I mean, I think I'm probably the only one that really sees it unless I point it out, but that was a pain getting that cut. So the thing to do is pull it loose off here and just go ahead and cut it instead of trying to trim around one that's already stuck down. Oop, come on. These are so small, they don't really like being halved. I don't know of anything that likes being halved. But I can tell you, it's a bit on the fiddly side. Can't figure out how to put it on there. Well, I almost got it cut in half. Let's try sticking it on there. Let go of me. There. Yay! Look at that. You can't even see where it's sticking out. And we'll put him right there. And so he's popped up as well. Okay, and then finishing touches for the front is What's the Trip to the Beach Without a Sandcastle and a Sandpiper. So these little guys I cut out of, it's again stamped with the set and then die cut. There's a die cut for each of one of those. I was not kidding when I said there's lots of little pieces. And I want to tell you something hilarious. I figured what all of them out were really quickly, except for this. And I'm going, what in the heck is that? And I looked at it that way, and I looked at it that way. And I kept turning it, and I could not figure it out. And then I did. It's a deck chair. Look at that. Because dummy me didn't think that it's turned that way when you die cut it. So how many of you guys have done that? You're looking at your die set and you're going, what is that? So just a bit of mystery. And there's a lot of pieces in here I didn't use. Here are the pieces that you can use if you want to cut these out separately. There's the base. There's my palm trees. There's a umbrella. There's some grass. And here are the waves. Aren't those beautiful? So anyway, more tiny pieces to cut. And I do think I'm going to put these on the front edges of the frame as if the frame were decorated. And get these giant scissors out of the way. Where did the other piece? Yes. So my other piece here, I'm going to put that. Come on, don't stick. It's making me sad here. There. I'm going to put this on my sandpiper because he's a little tiny guy and he will only take a half a piece at best. And, oh, it still has the paper on it. Look at that. I think that's the paper. Nope, that's the sticky. Okay, managed to get a tiny little thing on there. So we're going to put our sandpiper right here in the corner. So this is down in the corner, but his little wings and stuff, his little feet and wings are up on the top side of this. Like that. And of course this will take 2 regular ones, so that's good. 1 mini, 2 mini. All right. Okie dokie. Let's pop this on here like this. That to go to the edge. Come on. There. Got it. So that is the front of our card done. Now remember I said I went and just die cut some of everything. I thought, well, if you do this and you go crazy like this, then you can decorate the inside. So to that end, I used a piece of paper as a card liner. And this is, gosh, I would hope you guys would know the measurements by now. If it is metric, you've got 14.4, and down the side here, we've got 10 centimeters. If you are working in imperial, this is going to be, across the ears, it's going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So if you don't have extra die pieces left over, you can just do this. You can just stamp this on here. I think it makes a nice bit of difference. Now, in my original, I thought I had out my Azure Afternoon. Stampin' Right marker, and I did not. I actually had out the blueberry bushel, and I was doing testing because I do that, and my desk was a horrible mess, and I had stuff everywhere, all over the desk, And I literally just picked up, had to decide, oh, azure afternoon, that's going to be the color I want. And so I picked up the blueberry bushel and stamped it. Didn't like it, went, oh my gosh, that's too dark. So I decided, let's just go up a little bit. Let's put this on here. Sorry, can't talk and think. The whole thinking thing. Anyway, you can stamp this, or you can do what I did, is use your die cuts and stick them on there. I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference which one you do, except that you can't do any coloring if you've got glue spookies. So let's give those a minute. So anyway, I colored this, and I didn't like it. So I used the color remover and realized that it looked like denim. So I left it. I thought, well, you know what? That's not bad at all. But on the other one, I just wanted it a little bit brighter. So I used the Granny Apple Green, the Blueberry Bushel, and the Spruce, Shaded Spruce Light, because there is no Garden Green. And then that's Granny Apple Green through there. And I put a little sort of a double layer there to make the seat bit look a little darker. So I just wanted to bring a little more color on the inside. Now, the other thing that you can do that makes a huge difference, and you should probably, anytime you're stamping something onto a large background, a large plain background, you need to ground your stamps. And by that, I mean you need to put some indication that the objects you have stamped are sitting on something. Now, you can often get away with flowers, but if you have a stem that goes down into something, you want to do that as well. But when you have objects that you're stamping. So I used pecan pie because I don't have a crumb cake marker. I need to get one. And this is such a super simple thing to do, and it's really quick, really easy. It takes just minutes. I'm trying to recover my thing here. There we go. Is you're going to make some ground. So wherever there's a foot, you just do a squiggle. I like the other end. Let's use the other end. You just do a squiggle with your marker, and you're not really gonna touch it, but anywhere there's ground, and see what a difference that makes. Can you see that? So basically, we grounded the stamp so they look like they're sitting on something. If you, in this case, sand, so I have used the brown. You can use any of the grays to do this. You can even use black and make like sketchy lines. But this is always a good thing to remember. This is a good tip, is be sure any objects that you stamp are on the ground, they're grounded. And then you just take, and we are going to put this on the inside. We are going to be done. Come on. Come on. Wake up. I actually had to turn my heat on last night. I was so cold. I don't know what's going on. I know that it is June, but I just could not sleep. And sadly, this was next to the, I left it on the windowsill besides where the boiler thing comes out. What do you call those? Radiator is, and it got hot. So whenever that happens, it gets sticky. So that was my dumb, I was playing with a cat and I had it in my hand, set it down. I know you guys probably do dumb things like that too. Or do you? All right, set that up. Now we are ready to send to somebody special. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was very much fun for me. As I said, I literally took this die set and went to town and die cut everything in here so I could see what they look like and what they were doing. I'm going to do one with these surfboards. So be on the lookout for that. That's happening real soon. So thank you, like I said, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Wasn't big on the tips and tricks, but hopefully now, if you don't have a white gel pen, you'll go and see about getting one for yourself, because they're very cool. And I probably will show you more tips and things to use with them, especially when you're doing watercolor things, or you're coloring and you need just a bit of a white spark. That's when you pick up that white gel pen. And besides, if you've got anything dark colored, they're so much fun to color with. Anyway, that's it. That's for me. I'm out. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a happy crafty day. Yes, the advertisement. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you're on Facebook and you really like it, give me that heart. See ya.